8 Most Wholesome Isekai Anime, Ranked. Isekai is loved by many fans of anime as it involves giving a character a second chance in life. Some of these characters might have had a tough life and are on the verge of changing their situation when their life gets snatched away from them. Luckily for most, they get a second chance by being reincarnated, while others get summoned or transported to another world. What Isekai does is take viewers and its characters on an adventure in a fantasy world where they carry out epic quests and go on adventures to survive or make a living in their new world. However, there are some Isekai anime that focus more on warm and gentle moments, giving viewers a heartwarming watching experience. These anime are light-hearted and do not focus on intense action or complex plots. 8. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Misato died as an exceptional girl, far from ordinary or average, and without any friends. After her death, she was offered a chance to be reborn in a fantasy world, and she took it only with the condition that she wanted an average life and not be a genius like she previously was. Unfortunately for Misato, now Adele, the word average has a totally different meaning in this fantasy world, and she finds herself stronger than the typical human. However, her not-so-average abilities do not stop her from trying to live an ordinary life and finally making friends. Luckily for her, she is able to make friends, and although it's not easy, she tries her hardest to live a normal life. This anime focuses on Adele's quest to make friends and it takes a light-hearted and humorous path. Viking note, I have seen this series. It was good the first time, but I haven't had the urge to watch again. 7. I've been killing slime for 300 years and maxed out my level. Self-care is very important, and as Yusa's failure to care for herself and manage the stress of working led to her untimely death. However, she is reborn as an immortal witch in a fantasy world where she chooses to live a peaceful and relaxed life. This anime focuses on Azusa's simple and solitary life, which consists of her killing slime and being low-key but very powerful. However, she maxes out her level, and suddenly, people from all over her new world start coming to find her, opening her solitary life to endless possibilities filled with friends, humorous adventures, and light-hearted moments. Viking note, I've watched this series a couple times and it was good. 6. By the grace of the gods. After living such a hard life, Ryoma Takebayashi dies. Luckily for him, he finds himself in the presence of 3 gods who feel pity for him, and because of the life he lived, they give him a chance to reincarnate in another world as a young child to enjoy and savor the beautiful parts of life. By the grace of the gods focuses on life without hardship and struggles, and Ryoma spends his time keeping slimes as pets and living a comfortable life alone. After years of being alone, Ryoma meets people who take him on a journey across his new world. Viking note, I watched it repeatedly and in rapid succession. It is very relaxing. 5. Parallel World Pharmacy. Kanji wants to make sure that no one has to suffer the loss of their loved ones due to a sickness that can be avoided with the right treatment. After losing his sister, he dedicated himself to medicine and finding a suitable treatment for the disease that took his beloved sister away from him. However, he overworks himself and dies an unavoidable death. Luckily for Kanji, his journey does not end here, as he finds himself in the body of a 10-year-old boy in a fantasy world. Kanji, now Falma, is born into a family of medical practitioners. Talk about a dream come true for Kanji. Falma realizes that medicine is not available to everyone, as it is in the modern world that he remembers. So he is set to make sure that everyone around and far from him can get medical help whenever they need it. This Isekai anime focuses on his quest to provide medical help, cure diseases, and break the injustice and politics around it. 4. Restaurant to Another World. Western restaurant Nekoi caters to human beings as well as magical beings. In the human world, the restaurant is closed on Saturdays, but for the magical beings across all fantasy worlds, it is time to come together and feast on their favorite food. What makes Restaurant to Another World wholesome is how food unifies and brings these creatures together. There are no conflicts or tension, just good food and good company. The characters all order meals that have significant meaning to them, and each episode focuses on one or two meals, the character that orders them, and what they mean. Viewers are sure to have a relaxing and slightly mouth-watering experience when watching this anime. 3. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Mikado was suddenly taken away from his life as a Japanese salaryman to help the kingdom of Ryusuja fight against their enemies. However, his role is quite unconventional, as he does not become an adventurer or anything like that. Instead, he becomes a cook, making delicious and irresistible food with his online supermarket ability, which allows him to purchase food items from modern-day Japan. This anime follows the daily life of Mikado as he explores different recipes and travels around his new fantasy world with a mythical beast who got hooked on Mikado's food. Mikado enjoys cooking so much, and this anime also shows how food can build friendships and bonds between people, making it a carefree watch for audiences. 2. Ascendance of a Bookworm. Being a book lover should not be deadly, but shelves filled with books and an earthquake caused the sudden death of Urano. After her death, she is reborn as Mine, a sickly young girl in the medieval era. Luckily for her, her love for books and her memories from her life as Urano remain, but unfortunately for her, she is in an era where books are not easy to come by. This frustrates the young protagonist and worsens things for her health status. Ascendance of a Bookworm focuses on Mine's love for books, learning, and her quest to build a community. Mine is driven by her passion regardless of her age, health status, or the era she finds herself in. It is quite heartwarming how Mine is dedicated to creating books, especially in a world where they are extremely scarce and expensive. 1. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Satoru was satisfied with his boring life, always constantly working, and with no significant other in his life. After getting stabbed, he dies but finds himself in another world where he does not take a human form, rather, he takes the form of a slime. Slime is considered to be the weakest creature, but Satoru, now Rimuru, tries to make something for himself and not be weak. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is a light-hearted anime that follows the journey of Rimuru as a slime and how he offers peaceful solutions through dialogue instead of violence. In addition, Rimuru finds a new purpose by becoming stronger, and he tries to empower those around him to do more and realize their potential. Viking note: it's a good show but the seasons become harder to watch as time passes. Hello. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future content, comment and let me know. I know many are not comfortable with AI art, but I am saving to gather supplies to delve into other art styles. It will take time, but I am hoping to get into resin, woodworking, and metalworking. All I ask, please enjoy my videos.